In this session, we will learn how to enter a finished goods style purchase order. From the transaction menu, select Style Purchase Order module. In Aria, there is more than one way to enter a purchase order, like you can generate the purchase order from an existing sales order or generate the PO based on the open to sell. Today we'll discuss how to enter the purchase order manually. So from the transaction menu, select Purchase Order option. When the form opens up, click Add New Record icon. The complete date will show up by default as 2 months from today's date. However, you can change that by clicking on the calendar and choosing the actual completion date of that specific PO. Check multiple ship to option only in case if you have more than one location to ship that PO to. Now the status of the PO will be defaulted to on hold. Select your vendor number or type it in. So I'm gonna click the browse list to locate the vendor number I would like to issue that PO for. Press enter to accept the vendor. Then choose to ship to either location or a customer. If you choose to ship to a customer, you will be asked to enter a customer code, and in that case the ship to address will be routed or changed based on the customer information. If you choose to ship to a location, the system will ask you to select the location warehouse. I'll select the main warehouse in this case. And now the header tab will be populated based on the selected vendor and the selected ship to address, which in that case it's our warehouse address. Enter date is today's date. Complete date can be changed to any other future date, and the available date is the date reflects when the shipment or the merchandise will arrive to the warehouse. So I'm gonna change the actual available date for that PO. Other information on the header tab, the division, the payment terms, the ship via, all this information are populated based on the vendor master. However, you still can modify any information as needed. So if the payment term code for that specific PO is different than the vendor payment term, you can change that here. If the ship via as well is different, you can select the appropriate ship via for that specific PO, and you can add any additional information like insurance information and so on. Other optional information is the vendor contact person, the country of origin where the merchandise is shipped from, the FOB port, and the buyer name. Quota category and required for are optional field as well. You can fill as required. Quota category is basically used for the customs information to categorize that PO or the merchandise included in that PO for what category it is will be used to calculate the duty and charges related. Required for can be any additional field like sales order number, customer number, and so on, who requires that PO. Once you are done with the header tab, click on Details tab to start adding that PO lines. Click New to start adding a new style, and here you can either type in the style code directly or you can click the browse list to search and locate your style code. Using the incremental search, just type in the style code to locate the style number you would like to use. The style all colors will be displayed. You can just locate the style color and press enter to accept it. Cost sheet will be showing by default as the default cost sheet setup on that style. If this style is set up as non-detailed costing, the system will populate this field by default, and in that case it will be one cost sheet per style based on the information entered on the style costing tab. Reference field is optional and can be used for any additional information that you want to add or to reflect on that style, like for example landed duty pay. Anything related to either the payment terms, related to the style shipping method, related to any other generic information that's related to that specific style on the PO. The vendor style number will populate automatically based on the style master information if that field is entered on the style special tab. Complete date can be entered or changed on the line level if it's different from the header information, as well as the shipped via. Now we will enter the total quantity. As you can see, the style price populated based on the style costing information. However, this is the estimated cost. If it is different on that particular PO, you still can override the price, and this will be the price affected or listed on that particular PO number without affecting the style costing information tab. Here we'll list in the quantity information by size breakdown. So you see the size scale description for each size bucket. You fill in the total quantity for each size, and when you are done, you click new and you accept the total quantity calculated for the entire style first, and now you can click new to add the next style color. The system will go to the following color for the same style. However, you still can override to either choose a different style or a different color for the same style. Same idea, like we enter the first line, the default cost sheet will show up. Reference and vendor style number, completion date if it's different from the header tab. All this information can be editable on the line level, and we can furthermore use a pre-pack if a pre-pack is set up for the related size scale, and the pre-pack will help to make the data entry easier for the size breakdown. So I'm gonna choose pre-pack A, and let us say the price for that color is 12.75, and I'm gonna choose only 3 pre-packs from pre-pack number A. As you can see, once you select the pre-pack number, the system will calculate the size breakdown quantity for each size and will give the total quantity based on the number of pre-packs and the breakdown by each size. You repeat the same thing by clicking on the new button to add the next style color in a row, and the same idea apply. You can add different price, different than the standard price entered on the cost sheet or on the costing tab on the style master, and you can either fill the size breakdown or select a pre-pack from the list, and then the system will fill in the size breakdown based on the pre-pack. So I'm gonna put in this time the size quantity breakdown manually for each size. And the system will always confirm the total, so click OK or click accept to confirm the total quantity for this line. And once you are done with entering all the style colors that should be included on that PO, click the summary tab to review the total information. Here the system will give you a total quantity ordered on that PO for the entire styles listed, will give you the total amount for the purchase price, for the duty, for the freight, and any other costing element represented on the style cost sheet. You can furthermore link the style PO to a letter of credit if you would like to, and you can choose a default bank number that to be linked to that purchase order for the future payment transaction. Once you are done verifying and entering all the information, click Save Modifications icon, and the system will generate the purchase order number. Click OK to accept. Now the system will ask you if you want to add any free text notes and attach it to your PO. You can use this notepad to input any additional information that you would like to attach or send to your vendor. And now the system will give you the choice to print the PO directly at the same time you entered the PO, or you can choose no to print the purchase order later. If you would like to add the PO cost sheet in the same time when you entered the PO in the beginning, click yes to confirm. And based on the costing information either entered on the style cost sheet or on the style costing tab, depending on the detailed costing parameter on the style master, the system will create the style PO cost sheet for you. The link code is related to the accounting part, which will be discussed later in the future sessions related to the accounting. Style warehouse is again confirming which warehouse location this PO will be shipped to. Once you confirm and hit OK, the system will build and generate the cost sheet with the appropriate costing element. So in that case, we'll have price, we'll have duty, freight, and miscellaneous cost. And all this information is depending on the style cost sheet or the style costing tab information entered on the style master. Click the Save Modification icon on the toolbar, and now the PO and the PO cost sheet are entered. To inquire the PO that we have just entered, either type in the number or click the Browse List and locate the PO number that we have just generated. So I'm gonna locate the PO number, press enter, and the PO information will be populated. If you would like to print the PO at any time after the PO was first entered, go to File menu and choose Print. The system will call the PO print out form for the PO. Just to preview the PO form on the screen, you can click Print Preview, and that will show up an image or a copy of the PO form, which will be printed in the same way if you click on the printer icon. After printing the PO form, click Close to close the output form, and now you can go back to the purchase order if you would like to do any revisions or any modifications to the required PO.